What the hell are you? We are Venom.
He shoved that tongue right up his butt. Hey, man, I've seen Oz. That was a sodomy scream. Right there. That's why Tom Hardy's screaming like that. That's why. Guys, Mikey here, and welcome back to the Real Cast. I have my other good friend here, the Immortal Nerd, Mr. Hakeem. I felt a little bit bad because we didn't give you a whole lot of content and stuff for April. It's kind of the end of the month now, so I figured like, hey, well, we'll do two kind of back to back in a sense. We just got finished seeing Infinity War yesterday, so Liam and I did a review on that, and you probably saw the highlights for that. And today we're talking about that Venom trailer.
So, what Venom trailer?
Yeah, it kind of like snuck its way in through all of the hype for Infinity War and everything. But honestly, this one has actually done a lot better, like reception wise, than the first one did. Because the first one was just a teaser, and a lot of people were just like, "Why are you doing this, Sony? We don't want this. We didn't ask for this." And even when it was announced, I was one of those people. I was just like, "Why? Why are you doing this?" And then they dropped the teaser, and a lot of people were just like, "Oh, why are you doing this, Sony?" and everything. So, and I was still one of those people. I'm just kind of like, I don't understand why you're doing this. And then they dropped the trailer, and I put a poll out there on Twitter, and it got really good responses. And everyone was just like, "Yeah, this looks really good." And I'm still one of those people. I'm just like, "Why are you doing this, Sony?" So, I mean, I don't understand the reason for it, and it may be one of those things like, it may have some meaning come to us in the movie itself. I hope it does, because if it's just a movie for the sake of being a movie, then it's kind of, I hate to say it, it's be like some of the other MCU movies, but still. But it's just like, I don't want it to be a movie that doesn't mean anything. I want it to have some kind of weight towards it and everything.
When I saw it, the teaser first, I was like, is this a Venom movie? Like, what is this supposed to be?
It looked like a generic action movie, didn't it?
Yeah.
It didn't even look like it was supposed to be a Venom movie or anything. It was just like, you wouldn't know until like the title card popped up. You're like, oh, okay.
Like, oh, this is a Venom movie? Like, but no. Then watching the official trailer, and I'm like, okay. They explain or show you a little bit more stuff in it to try to get a feel on what's going to go down. But I'm still like, this is really a Venom movie? Like,
it really doesn't. It doesn't have the same feel that you would expect from a Venom movie. And I think, a lot of the criticism does come into the fact that Spider-Man isn't there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of because Spider-Man is a big part of Venom's origin. I'm not going to explain that. I mean, this by now. You should know it by now. But if you don't, you can look it up. You can see that Spider-Man has always been a big part of Venom's origin story. The hatred that the reason Venom is a villain is because of Spider-Man. The reason, Venom is because of Spider-Man. Right. So to take him out of the equation, a lot of people aren't really happy with that. I honestly, the first time I heard about it, I was kind of like, I don't know if that could really work just because of that connection. But now we have Tom Holland, who's like, 16-year-old kid now in the current timeline. He's like 16 because he was 15 last year in his Homecoming, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he would be, provided he's had a birthday, he would be 16 right now. So, and we have what's his name? Bane, Tom Hardy, who's like 40.
The other Tom.
Yeah. So I was like, you can't really have like a 40-year-old dude hating a 16-year-old kid. He's like waiting outside of his high school. Everything. It was just like, oh, got you, Peter. 3 o'clock, I got you. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for this Venom to be originated from the hatred of Spider-Man. So I kind of get that. And they're kind of going for that anti-hero look, and I kind of get that too, because the anti-hero is really just kind of big now, like not even just with superhero movies. Like, yeah, you got Deadpool, who's the anti-hero and everything, but you also got other anti-heroes. You got like Liam Neeson from almost every movie he does now. With the exception of, what was it, that recent movie that came out, like The Commuter or something. He was
I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, and he was actually a good guy there. He wasn't just he wasn't avenging anything. He was just like, whatever.
I'm just trying to take the train.
Yeah. I mean, he really was. He was just like, man, I'm just trying to just go on about my way, but no, I gotta get involved in this again. And I was like, why would you mess with Liam Neeson of all people? But whatever. But yeah, it's like, it's been a big thing. Even Jackie Chan, like his latest movie, well, it wasn't technically his movie. It was more Pierce Brosnan's movie, The Foreigner.
Yep.
Yeah, even he was Jackie Chan was an anti-hero in that. So I'm like, the anti-hero has been big. So I get why they're going that route. But I don't know what you might think about this, but my thoughts on having Venom in the movie, like a Venom movie, I think it should go more towards a horror route.
I really don't know, actually. I think it could work both ways, depending upon like how they told the story. Mm-hmm. Like an anti-hero movie, yeah, because that's like that's the wave that everybody's going now, especially with another one, Denzel Washington, like The Equalizer.
Yeah, The Equalizer, exactly, yeah.
So maybe they want to do that with Venom here, but a horror movie, that could work as well. I mean, they having it coming out in October.
Yeah, it's coming out in October, exactly. And like even like the voice of the symbiote, or the symbiote as they call it. I don't know why I mispronounced symbiote, but whatever. But like even the voice of the symbiote like sounds like a demon. So I'm like, it could be something that's within him that he can't really control, and something that's kind of slowly taking him over, and like at the end he's like finally like embracing like the craziness that's within him and everything. So I'm like, it could be something like that. Like he doesn't want to at first, but at first, like as slowly is attached to him, just like the real Venom did with Spider-Man. Yeah. So kind of having that little bit of a head nod there, but a lot of people are really, really just. They're really hype over the last part of this, where you see Venom actually take form.
What the hell are you? We are Venom.
He shoved that tongue right up his butt. Man, I've seen Oz. That was a sodomy scream. That's why Tom Hardy's screaming like that. But yeah, man. Like a lot of people were really sold by that. Even my friend JJ, he was just like, man, that. The trailer was kind of okay, and then that last bit really kind of sold him. It was just like, oh, you got the look down. And Venom does look cool and everything. And it's the internet. Everybody's going to make fun of it. I mean, but when Thanos came out in this Infinity War trailer, everyone was making fun of it. I was one of them. So. But he does look genuinely cool in this. In the trailer and everything. I was like, okay, you got the look down and everything. I think one person said like he just looks really wet. I was like, he probably should. I mean, he's a slimy type character. You can't really show that much in the comics and everything because it's all like dark print and everything. But you can see like when he opens his mouth, there's all this drool and stuff everywhere. So I'm like, it's a slimy type character. So I kind of got it. The one thing I don't know. I've never really hated how Venom looked in Spider-Man 3. I thought Venom looked pretty cool in Spider-Man 3. Like just the when he was Venom, like symbiote on and everything, not showing his face or anything like that as Eddie, but like I don't know, the little effect of like the symbiote like pulling at him was kind of cool. But like Venom in Spider-Man 3, I never thought he looked bad.
Well, I'll put it like this. To everyone that knew that Venom was going to be in the movie, they expected this kind of Venom, but they didn't get it, and
Gotcha.
It made them upset. But how I saw it was still Peter fighting, with himself still, even though the symbiote wasn't on him. So it was like, even though he got rid of it from himself, he still had to fight, like kind of the evil version of Spider-Man. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. So it kind of made sense that it was still like in that form, that old Spider-Man, form that he's been having. So
yeah, and I got that. And even like, because I used to watch like DVD commentary and stuff like that, and they said like they wanted someone that was just a little bit bigger than he was, but not, kind of keep it in like grounded to a certain realism. Like, okay, he has to be more agile than Spider-Man is. He has to be faster than he is. He can't be super bulky because it wouldn't work. It wouldn't make sense. So I remember a lot of people used to say like, oh, you should have got like somebody like along the, not exactly John Cena, but someone as big as John Cena. I'm like, John Cena can't do no flips or anything like that. You can't see it. It wouldn't have worked. Not back then anyway. Not with the effects that they had and everything. It wouldn't have worked back then. But yeah, I never actually thought he looked bad. I thought he actually always looked kind of cool. This one definitely does look a lot better. I said this has been 12 years now? Because Spider-Man 3 came out 2006, 2007.
3. Let me see the third one. 7. I think it was 7.
All right, yeah. So 11 years. So yeah, 11 years later, yeah, you should look better, as Venom and everything. But I guarantee you, if the movie came out back then, he would probably look very similar to what we got in Spider-Man 3. Because at this point in time, unless you're gonna do a kid Venom, to be honest, unless you're gonna do it like something like that, which they have done, but. Unless you're going to have to wait like many years to actually get to an actual Venom character and Eddie Brock and everything. So as opposed to waiting those many years to do that, this might be able to work in that regard in terms of like, oh, we can kind of slowly start introducing it this way. Because you see like there's a spaceship or something that's crash landed and they're quarantining the symbiote off of it and everything, and they're trying to make something with it. There are other characters in there that you see something's up with them. You don't see them infected with like the symbiote or anything, but it's possible that they are.
Yeah, something they were being experimented on with something.
Yeah. So this could be the start of that. You don't know, because at this point in time, we don't really know where the MCU is going outside of movies like Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Captain Marvel movie, which are both taking place before Infinity War. So after Infinity War, it's just like, I don't really know where you're going with this. So, so it's really hard to say like, okay, is this going to be the end, or is this like starting a new story arc per se? So, and it's something that might be able to bleed over into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We don't know. But a lot of people out there are probably listening to me. They're just like, you're giving Sony way too much credit. It's like, look, man, like it's going to be exactly what we see in the trailers. And if it is, I can't say I'll be disappointed, because it's kind of like, well, we got exactly what they marketed.
Yeah.
So.
Like he all started because of, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. So him having a standalone, what can you actually do with them? I mentioned earlier, the only thing that I can think of is if, after the fact, the government or the CIA came to him and we need you on this type of, this squad. I'm trying to think of the word for it. They use it in DC for the Suicide Squad, but they didn't call them that. They call them what was the word? But some type of squad like that. Some task force. Yeah, that's the word for it. And they make him an agent or something and have him going out to overseas and doing these unspeakable missions or whatever to get things done. But in the Agent Venom comics that he does.
Right.
That's the only thing that I can think of. Anything else, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like where can you really go? It's a good point. Where can you really go with this character? And if you make this movie, it's like, okay, yeah, this one movie may be marketable, but where are you going to go after that? What can you do with him other than that? And I know we got other movies coming out. We got the Black Black Cat Silver Sable movie
Yeah.
that's supposed to be happening and everything. I don't know what the details are with that, other than it's just Black Cat and Silver Sable. It's supposed to be in the same continuity.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did have a question though, and in the official trailer, they had the symbiote actually talking. So I'm like, this is like I know the symbiote is it's a separate being from itself, or organism, I should say, but I don't really remember it being an actual like it being personified as a human being. Like I knew in the third Spider-Man, the professor that Peter Parker went to go see about it, like all he really could say about the symbiote was that whatever it latches onto, it amplifies whatever emotional state that you're in. So
it amplifies aggression and stuff like that. Yeah, and it feeds off because it feeds off of that. Yeah, it feeds off that anger and hatred and everything. It's to be honest, I kind of like it. I didn't think I would at first, because the first time I saw it, I was just like, I was like, I don't know about this, because it sounds like, he sounds like a demon, like possessing him almost. But then I thought about it, I was like, I think I kind of like this. I think I kind of like it, but not in the context that it's kind of being used. Because it's being used, I'm like, it just feels like an action movie. If it were a horror and it was like that, I think it would be a lot better. Yeah. Because he's trying to fight this thing almost or whatever. You know what I'm feeling like it's going to be like almost like a lesser version of The Incredible Hulk with the Edward Norton one. That's what it kind of feels like, because there was moments in there that felt like a horror movie, like especially in the beginning. There was moments there like it didn't feel like a horror movie, but it was like horror movie elements and everything. It's like all in the dark and everything. Yeah. People getting snatched up real quick and everything. It was almost like jump scares were happening and stuff. So I feel like this is kind of going that route, like that horror / action. Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
It was different. It was different because I was used to, not it being, like a separate being from yourself. It's like it's a different person totally that enjoys feeding off of the bad things that you can do. Yeah. And it wants you to keep doing it. And I'm like, it's kind of weird, but interesting at the same time. I would like to see the dynamic between the two, see how that works, the struggle, if there's going to be some type of struggle, but just how far it will go in the movie, whether or not he will, try to control it at the end, who knows, but yeah, I get the feeling like it'll be like just him constantly in his head, like, you want to do this, just go ahead, it makes me feel good, and I was just like, okay.
I mean, it's not past him. I mean, you saw that tongue.